addressed it as well in my servicing question from a little bit earlier. And I know it's going to depend on the family, their appetite, and their resources, but should they be more concentrated in a small number of direct companies, or should they have more diversity for a variety of reasons, maybe downside risk mitigation as well? What's the right answer? I know there is none, but in general, and maybe a little bit more to a novice direct investing family office.
It's a great question. And I think the answer, it depends, is the first one that comes to mind. I think there's two ways to look at it. If you are basically allocating capital, but not being very active. So for example, participating in club deals, but not sitting on the board and having a very, heavy involvement on a day-to-day basis, then I do think that having kind of a diversified portfolio can work. Absent that, I personally believe that the best approach for families, and like you said, everybody has their own opinion, but I personally think the best approach is to be, concentrated. If you think about how families made money, almost every family, concentrated strategically on a certain thing to generate their wealth. Diversification is really about protecting your wealth. So to me, it's fundamentally a question around, are you playing offense or are you playing defense? But if your goal is really to play offense, I think basically choosing something where you have value to bring to the table and a lot of know-how and experience, and focusing on that area and basically using that know-how to buy cheaper, to run it better, to build up the business, is the shrewdest approach. And then using your liquid portfolio to invest around that. So for example, if you're a real estate developer, I would say and you're developing real estate in a direct fashion, don't be putting your liquid investments in real estate, private equity, private equity in the real estate thing or other developers, because you're basically doubling down in your exposure. You should be probably having very little REIT exposure and other stuff outside of your sector, because you've got, or within your sector, because you already have enough exposure currently.